Hello, Aquarius. Welcome. Take a seat and relax. There is nothing you need to do in this present moment except to relax and enjoy your reading. And to start your reading off, we have number 36. If you have watched The Office, you are going to recognize this card right away. But if you don't, this is Andy saying, I can so just sit here and cry. So Aquarius, do not be afraid to just sit there and cry. Alright, we have the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is all about truth. The Ace cards is this element at its full potential. The very beginning, you have so much potential, right? And the swords are of the mind, are of logic, are of the thoughts that you keep thinking in your head, are of the stories that we make up of the things that happen around us. And the King of Cups, the cups are about the emotions. The cups are about how we feel, right? And the emotions are really what connect us all together, right? Because anything that I do can affect your emotions. Anything that you do can affect my emotions. So emotions really connect us all together. And the king is in control. The king sets boundaries. The king sets the rules, the patterns of the things he's going through. So if you combine that with your emotions, I can so just sit here and cry. So maybe you are embodying this King of Cups right now. And the rules that you are setting for yourself is that it's not okay to cry, that you got to keep pushing through. But like we said at the beginning, don't be afraid to just sit there and cry. Right? If you look at the waters around this king, they are all moving. But the king is steady. He is still. The king is not one to cry when there are heavy waters moving all around him. And sometimes it's okay to let go of this King of Cups. Let go of these rules that you have set for yourself. Because what's really important is that you listen to yourself, that you listen to these emotions. And when you do listen to these emotions, there is so much potential here within your mind. So usually when these quirk cards come up, for me they are saying embody this type of energy. But in this case, right, so you see that's kind of a rule that I have. But in this case, I'm going to set aside that rule. Because this King of Cups came here to say, do not embody this energy anymore. Stop setting rules on how you should or shouldn't feel. Just feel them. And by just feeling them, let's find out what kind of potential our mind has. So let's set aside these rules, these boundaries that you have set within your emotions. And don't be afraid to just sit there and cry. Guidance, aloneness, okay? See, guidance. Our emotions are a guide. Our thoughts are a guide. Okay, what do I mean by that is, well, say this is fire. I got distracted by doing this. So this is fire, right? And I touch the fire, I'm gonna hurt myself. I'm gonna burn my finger's gonna burn. I'm gonna feel pain. And it's a good thing that I felt that pain, because it made my finger go the other way, right? That pain guided me, saying, hey, don't put your finger there because you're gonna do a lot more damage, right? If I didn't feel pain, I would just leave my finger here. I'd probably play with this fire. And my hand, I would probably be doing a lot of damage to my hand, even though I don't feel the pain. So pain is a guidance. It's telling you, hey, don't go that way because you will hurt yourself. Go this way instead, where you won't hurt yourself. Aloneness. I think I want to read from this book about this aloneness card, number 9, the Major Arcana. Absolutely love this deck. Absolutely love this book. 10 out of 10 would recommend. That's how I feel about any of these. Especially this one. This one is my favorite, the Thoth Tarot. So number 9, aloneness. When there is no significant other in our lives, we can either be lonely or enjoy the freedom that solitude brings. When we find no support among others for our deeply felt truths, we can either feel isolated and bitter or celebrate the fact that our vision is strong enough even to survive the powerful human need for the approval of family, friends, or colleagues. If you are facing such a situation now, be aware of how you are choosing to view your aloneness and take responsibility for the choice you have made. The humble figure in this card glows with a light that emanates from within. One of Gautama Buddha's most significant contributions to the spiritual life of humankind wants to insist to his disciples, be a light unto yourself. Ultimately, each of us must develop within ourselves the capacity to make our way through the darkness without any companions, maps, or guide. Interesting, huh? That it says at the very end, without any companions, maps, or guide. Because we have the guide within ourselves. Right? These emotions. When you are alone, you are not alone. You are simply lonely. And there is a tremendous difference between loneliness and aloneness. When you are lonely, you are thinking of the other. You are missing the other. Loneliness is a negative state. You are feeling that it would have been better if the other was there. Your friend, your wife, your mother, your beloved, your husband. It would have been good if the other was there, but the other is not. Loneliness is absence of the other. Aloneness is the presence of oneself. Loneliness is absence of the other. Aloneness is the presence of oneself. Aloneness is very positive. It is a presence, overflowing presence. You are so full of presence that you can fill the whole universe with your presence, and there is no need for anybody. And this doesn't mean that you are going to be alone forever. It just means that there are times in life where it's good to be alone, so we figure things out ourselves. And there are times when we will have that companionship, that guidance from around ourselves as well. Die Bach, the 7 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands, swiftness. Yeah, the 7 cups, the cups are of the emotions. This aloneness is feeling more lonely than just that presence that it was talking about. Eight of Wands. This is about things happening quickly. This is about, these look like lightning bolts. Lightning gets to the ground very quickly. Right? There is nothing, and then all of a sudden there is something. So this is the materialization of that energy. Of there being nothing, of that aloneness, and then all of a sudden there's something. Boom! And I promise that that something that happens, boom, is gonna happen just as quickly as you face that aloneness. Just as quickly as you don't feel so lonely anymore and that you become great company to yourself. Then something will arrive, boom. Just as fast as lightning. So, I made this, the Office Oracle deck, and this is my number 28, this is my lone card, right? Gabe says, I can't be alone anymore, Andy. Do you like being alone with me right now? And he says, no, this is horrifying. Gabe says, I don't like being alone with me either. So, before you do anything else, learn how to be alone and not lonely. If you are feeling lonely, face the loneliness. Do not run away from it. It's actually impossible to run away from it because you will always be with yourself. Remember, you are one. Be the one that you need. I promise you that if you face that loneliness, you might just find out that you are actually pretty cool to hang out with. And I want to get one more card from the Office Oracle deck. Interesting thing is he's over here on his own island too. He's pretty alone. But these times are times to figure things out. Times to really know who you are. If you want to know who you are, right? People say that we are God, right? That's what Jesus was saying. But God is one. So to be able to figure out who you are, you gotta be one. You gotta be lonely. That's the only really way. The only real way to figure out who you are. So it's all about figuring out who you are. Number 10. Cool. It's my nature card. Look at this. We are so small. If you zoom in here, look, there's a tiny little Michael and Dwight. Compared to nature, they are so small. So, sometimes everything feels so big. Sometimes things that we do feel so big. Our stress feels so big. But ultimately, we want to figure out who we are, right? And we are so small. Especially if you compare God to us, we are so small. We are probably like a little cell of God. But there's so much more to our small little world. It's time to explore it. Go out in nature, look around, and remember how small you are. It'll make all those stresses that much smaller. All of that worry that much smaller. Feel your surroundings. And while you're doing this, you might even figure out, hey, I'm not so alone. And feel your small self be part of such a bigger whole. Just a tiny little being in this massive, beautiful place. Alright, I hope this reading helped. And if it did help, please help me as well with a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you would like to keep hanging out, as this is a safe place where we try to figure life out together. So thank you so much for being here, Aquarius, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.